So we're viewing your whole entire screen.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Suzanne Maxey, and my co-host is Carrie Van. Good morning, Carrie.
Good morning, Suzanne, and good morning to everyone who's watching. Hopefully, we're at the end of this cold spell and we're going to have some
Oh,
warmer weather
I
next
hope
week.
so. I do
Me
hope so.
too. I
Before
don't
I,
normally I don't normally complain, Sue, but I'm getting really sick of this really cold weather.
well, I always complain about the cold, but I am so ready for spring. Well, I hope we have a spring this year.
Me
I don't
too.
like
And
summer either. I complain the summer's too hot, so I would like a spring, please.
yes, looking forward to anything over 32 degrees. Need to
Yeah,
get
no kidding.
Need to get rid of some of this ice. I can't even get to my trash can. It's the whole thing. It's like a skating rink. So
Deanna and I went to Florida one year. When we got off the plane, a lady said to us, "Oh, this is the wrong time to come to Florida. It's only 32 degrees out there." And I said, "Well, it's still 20 degrees warmer than where we came from." She let her
absolutely.
jaw kind of fell on the floor. I'm like, "Well, yeah, it's gonna feel like a heat wave does." So yeah.
Exactly. I've been to Arizona in the winter and it's very sad to come back.
Oh yeah,
That
no
was
kidding.
that was the time I went to Arizona. It took me 12 hours to get there. There was a snowstorm in Detroit and I had to deplane and everything in 12 hours. After
Oh,
after you watch them de-ice numerous wings on planes, you are definitely a brave person because I did it. It only took me like 4 hours to get home, so there was a bonus right there. So good morning. We have a lot of people watching, and thank you for being here. We appreciate it. We took a 2 week break, which is very unusual for Sue and I, but we have a guest today, so we should stop chatting
yeah.
away and get going with our announcements.
Yep.
All right.
Today is the third Friday, so that means da 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 da. It's game night in the parlor tonight at 7. If you'd like to join us, I know it's going to be cool, but you probably already have cabin fever, so you need to get out of the house.
Yes, absolutely. And the parlor is warm, so
Yes,
you don't have to worry about the parlor. You know,
that's
the one thing I'm going to be talking about, like a broken record,
oh
all
yeah,
the way until March 16th, is we have our ChristNet overnight coming. Really need to start. I know it's like only February, but anytime someone signs up, you get a big hoot and holler from me. We had a lady who signed up last year, signed up for 2 overnights, 4 to 7. That's like makes my day right away. And we need some things and we could always use money and we just need your support. If you could just pray, anything you got, we'll take.
yeah.
And
Hey,
it's going very well so far. All the dinners are situated and they look great. And we've been advertising about a winter camp at Wakanda. There has been, I've lost track, Sue. It's because you questioned me on this. A
I know.
hundred,
I'm
a
like,
179 inches
I'm
of
like,
snow.
is this serious? Are you? This can't be right.
I know you
Oh,
have Sue is my proofreader, and she kept pinging me on that. I'm like, Sue, I got it from a reliable source. They've had a lot of snow up there. This
oh,
is like a little family camp. Go by yourself, go with others. They're gonna go to ski, and it's only $3 lift tickets. So if
that's
you want to go, it's not too late. If you need the sign up info, let me know and I'll send it to you. And guess what else is coming up, Sue? Tell us.
well, Ash Wednesday is coming
I know this already.
already. Yeah, I know. March 5th at 7:30, there will be a Ash Wednesday service in I almost said the parlor. No, that it's not big enough for the parlor. It'll be in the
Not in the
sanctuary.
park. Right.
Oh my goodness. And it will be, please come and experience a beautiful reflection and soul-stirring music as we begin the Lenten season.
Yes, I know the choir has been working hard with Glenn and it's going to be wonderful. Speaking
Yep.
of Ash Wednesday, does anybody celebrate Fat Tuesday? If you do, throw a comment in the chat.
I know I
It's
used
been,
to go to an office, people would bring in those punchkis, and
yeah,
it's like, yeah, whether you celebrated Fat Tuesday or not, we all got fat on Tuesday eating those things.
Yes, absolutely. And I don't know, I always wanted them to be like more than I thought they would be, but they were
I
good.
know the build up, and then it's like, okay, it's a filled donut.
Right.
Guys. But yeah, it was still pretty good. Yeah.
It was still good, still ate it. And
Oh yeah,
then right, then we have an announcement about a Lenten Bible study you can attend. Sue, why don't
absolutely.
you go ahead with that?
Going to be at Lincoln Park Presbyterian. The sessions are going to be on March 6th, the 13th, April 3rd, and 10th. And it's going to be covering Lent, Holy Week, and Easter. So don't miss Reverend Kara Hildebrand on our show next Friday at 9, and you can learn more about it.
Yes, and we are interfering with her workout routine because she works out
Oh,
every
her
morning.
CrossFit
So
thing.
I appreciate her coming in. That means she'll have to get up super early that day, but it's going to be a great study and it's online and in person. So everybody can do that with Kara. All right,
Right.
so we better stop chattering along and get our guest in here.
Our guest is Sherri Gramlich. Show you a picture over here. Guess we need to let her in, don't we?
I just did.
Oh,
You can do
okay.
the introduction as she joins.
So Sherri Gramlich is a lifelong resident of Southern Michigan, particularly the Downriver area, with over 30 years of sales experience that greatly benefits her work as a realtor. So, hi, Sherri, how are you this morning?
I am good. How are you?
I just got a little frog in my throat there, but pretty
Uh-oh.
good.
Yes, we are wonderful, and we are so happy that you decided to join us, Sherry, today. We can't wait to ask you about yourself and about a very interesting event that's coming up that should interest our viewers today.
All right.
All right, so can you tell us a little bit about yourself and your journey to becoming a full-time realtor and an associate broker?
Absolutely. So I want to start with my career started when I joined the Army, and that was years ago. Um, and when I got out, I had my children, and I ended up going through some struggles and went out into the workforce and worked as a sales professional. And I worked like inside sales. Well, over time, wore on me going to the corporate world and whatnot. And I just felt a calling to become a realtor because I can help people. And it was way more fulfilling than doing, business to business sales. And so I loved having the opportunity just to, give people a helping hand, helping them find their homes and whatnot. So I dove right in from working a corporate job to being a full-time realtor. I became a an associate broker, which means I have a little bit more education than the just average realtor, and I had to meet production qualifications in order to become like a broker. So, an associate broker, we could, if we owned our own office, we would be a broker, but an associate broker, we have the same qualifications. We just don't own our own business.
Okay, that's interesting because I did not know what that meant at all. But I do know
Yeah,
it's good to be a broker and a real estate, right? I do
yeah,
know that part.
yep.
Yep.
And so coming into the event, and I'll just transition into that. Um, Back in 2020, I was taking care of my parents, doing their grocery shopping and everything during COVID. And my stepmom had some medical difficulties. And I had realized back, they had in like February that year, they had had a fall at the doctor's office, and they were having a hard time remembering what the doctor said. So I'm like, from now on, you guys, I need to go with you to the doctors because you need that extra ear. And they're like, okay. They were super compliant. They're like, yep, it makes sense. Well, it turned out my mom ended up passing away that year. And she had liver failure, and then kidneys started failing and whatnot, and she passed away, and that left me taking care of my dad. Well, if you know seniors and married couples to begin with, they kind of like they just look after each other, right? They don't really tell you what's going on, but they take care of each other. And so my dad, we started realizing he was in worse shape than what we thought he had been. When my mom was on hospice, there was one night, it was quite comical. Uh, Dad was getting tired, and I'm like, Dad, why don't you go in and go to bed? And he's like, okay. And the next thing you know, there was head banging rock music coming from his room really loud. And we're like, what's going on here? Well, turned out his mind was telling him put on a sleep timer related to an alarm clock. So he tried to set his alarm clock instead of the sleep timer on TV. And with doing that, it ended up radio. So I got him taken care of and he was okay. I ended up having to take like sticky pads, notepads, paper, tape it around remote controls, put notes on things so that he knew what they were. We didn't realize what was going on with him because my mom was covering for him. She wasn't telling us. He was covering for her. So what she wasn't able to do, he was doing. And what he wasn't able to do, she was. But when she passed, all of a sudden, my dad became way more needy. We realized he couldn't operate a gas stove. Went in one day and you hear click, 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 and it stove wasn't on, but it was on the click. So here we were, gas fumes going into his condo. Oh, there goes all the buttons, Dad. They're gone. No more gas stove for you. We realized like the microwave, he couldn't do the buttons. So we got him a microwave with a dial, the old ones, right? And he was able to manage that. So there were several things that we figured out that he needed, and little by little, um, I navigated the senior world, um, looking for all the resources, getting Meals on Wheels set up for him. Then I ended up looking at in-home care that was non-medical because his needs were cognitive. They weren't necessarily physical, right? So we got somebody to come in and they could do his laundry and do some things, around the house and help him out. And so we managed the non-medical care along with the medical care. And as you navigate the senior world, it's a little different. You find out the medical needs, the non-medical needs, you learn the cognitive, you learn so many things. So my father passed away in October. And so I've been just really on a mission to help people navigate things before the need arises, not necessarily as they need it, but hey, we're getting older and we should start looking into these things. We should know how to protect our assets. We should know what's going on. And so the funny thing is it's not necessarily the seniors, but their children. They really need to know what this is because we're the ones taking care of it. So we're putting together this senior resource fair to bring those things to light. I actually just met with one of my sisters this morning. Yes, already, and I'm back home. Um, and we were talking, and I was like, I'm so grateful that I downsized him and put him in an assisted or independent living, and that I didn't have to sell his condo when everything was emotional. I had already had that done. That was one of the smartest things that I did. It was a godsend. God definitely knew what he was doing when, he gave me that message. It's time. Let's do this. Let's find him a place to live. Um, and I keep talking and you guys aren't doing much talking. I'm sorry.
No, I mean, I have lived everything you have just said. And I mean, I feel a little teary-eyed because it's all true. Everything you said is true. And you're right. This senior resource fair would be good for seniors or the children of seniors. Because every single thing you said is like pinging right in my heart. Because I went through exactly the same thing. And you're right. Couples do have a pact where they be covered for each other. And then you find
Mhm.
out like, oh my goodness. So tell us, I'll say where it is because I have the address right up here. Her senior resource fair is on February 27th from
Yep.
4 to 7 p.m. And that's
Yep.
at the Brownstown Community
Community
Center.
center. Mhm.
Right. So tell us a little bit more about what to expect or what kind of information, or is there a cost for anything? Do you have speakers?
Yep.
Tell us
It
more.
doesn't cost a thing.
Nice.
So the vendors basically collectively, each of them pay for a table and that pays for the space. So I've already paid for it. I get my reimbursement the day of from the different vendors. I'm getting food brought in. So I'm gonna have some soup and some little mini petite sandwiches and
Oh,
whatnot and some cookies. So anybody that comes, they get little treats, and you always gotta feed people, right? We love food.
Feed them
yes.
Um,
at
That's a Presbyterian joke, so we're kind of laughing inside.
feed them and they'll come.
Yes, there's always got to be some kind of food.
it's a realtor thing too, trust me. I'm having a lunch and learn today with other realtors, and we network and everything, but we have food. You just gotta have food. It's a
So
big thing.
All
I'm
right, so
sharing a screen of your flyer. So there's a lot of logos here.
Yes.
There's some of the vendors that are
So
going to.
those are the bulk of the vendors. And so myself, as a realtor, I want to be able to talk to people if they're thinking about, downsizing and stuff like that. I have different services that I provide for people in that situation than I do on a regular everyday basis. When people are just selling one house and buying another, they're totally capable of managing things. When it's the children or it's the senior themselves that are doing it, right? They don't have necessarily the ability. Okay, whether it's physical, whether it's emotional, whether it's time. So a lot of times when working with seniors, the children, so let's say there's 4 children and they're selling mom and dad's house so that she can go into an independent facility. There's 4 minds that have to come together. There's 4 people, and yet none of them want to pay out to get repairs done or get it painted or get it ready to sell. So what I end up doing is helping them. And so this is basically for an extra percent. I manage home inspections, repairs, things like that. I put it on my charge card so they don't have to do it. And then it's basically charged off at the time of closing. So it helps them get the most that they can for their mom, for their parents' house. And so when they do have that gives them more money in their pocket and they don't have to deal with getting everything done. They still are managing their lives, their own children and things like that, plus taking care of mom and dad. They don't need to have that extra burden of finding a painter, finding a repair person. I have all those connections, so I sometimes will take that on.
Sherry,
I
I am like blown away by what you just said. And I hope the
Okay,
people
so
watching, I hope the people watching don't take this the wrong way. After my last parent died, when I had to go through their home of however long they lived there, which was many years, 50 or 60 years, it was one of the worst things I have ever had to deal with after they had the last one died. And that was horrible.
Yeah,
It broke me. It just broke me. So I'm
there's
just,
so much,
yes, it was
you know,
emotional and awful. I wish I would
and
have known of a person like you when I had to deal with this.
yeah, so I will. I'll even coordinate like an estate sale or junk removal and whatnot because like Lord willing, we have the time and ability to do it, right? But the fact of the matter is, we all keep so busy in our own lives, we don't have it. So what's the solution? The solution is you find somebody with a heart that is able to do that. And so that's why I do it because I've been there, I've done it. I know what it's like when you have so last year I had three gentlemen, their mom was in a group home and they were selling her house and I gave them the options. I said I can give you all the resources and you can do it. But the three of them were in their 70s. Mom was in her 90s. Okay, how able are they to go and manage all this and do all this? And so two of them lived out of the area, one of them lived in the area, but we were able to, here's what's going on. This is the estate sale information. This is what they charge. Are you okay with that? And then yes, absolutely. And we would do that. So the senior resource fair, again, is to let people get aligned with the right companies. So different home care companies do different things. There's medical and there's non-medical, right? You got to learn that when your parents are in the hospital, when like as seniors, every time they get out, you can get them physical therapy and occupational therapy right there in their home, and you should do it every single time. It helps get them back acclimated. Now, mind you, they usually stop doing it after a period of time, but every time they go in the hospital, you should be asking them because it gives them that person that's face to face with them. They're visiting them. You can only do so much as a child. You go over there and you do, you visit your parents, you do the things for them, but you can't be there 24/7. So every time you have somebody that's going to visit him or her, it's helpful. So
Agreed.
I would do that. Learning the types of home care. So there is like group homes where there'll be several seniors and there'll be nurses and care staff, right there 24/7. There's independent type living like American House, like Allegria Village. There's other ones as well where they cook, they have a cafeteria, but they have like their own apartment kind of thing. And then there's like the long-term care or rehab facilities, which are nursing homes, right? And that's extensive and expensive. And so to learn those things is priceless. To go and visit the different facilities and understanding what they provide and what they don't provide, the difference in cost. And like the cost in an independent living. Oh, and then there's senior apartments where they don't have any of the cooks and stuff like that. They're completely independent. They just have lower rent and whatnot, and most of the community is seniors. So there definitely are different needs. And we, with anything, right? Everybody should be unique to us. Everybody's needs are different. My dad didn't have the ability to cook, so putting him in a facility where he had his own space, he had his own apartment, he could walk down to the cafeteria and he would get companionship. That was big for him. He loved talking to all the different residents. It was really neat.
Yes, that's nice. Wow, this
Yep,
has been wonderful. We're starting to run out of time. Is I mean, I think that anybody who's interested themselves in looking for what their choices are in the future, or like you said, children, who want to just know what their options are going to be, I think this resource fair would be a great thing. I will post all the information on our page when we're through with this podcast, so everyone has it handy for them. And I would imagine that people can reach out to you on their own.
absolutely.
Okay. And what's your preferred method of being contacted? By phone, by
Uh,
email?
by phone is perfect. My phone number is 734-516-0371. And you can also find me online. A lot of seniors aren't online, but you can find me on Facebook. Sherri Sells Homes Downriver is my Facebook business page. And I'm with eXp Realty in Trenton. And again, my name is Sherri Gramlich.
Right, and I will, oh, Kip said great information. I agree, Kip. I'm trying to hold it together over here. Very good information. I will post everything. We have a private group, and Sherri, we have like over 600 people in there. And I will definitely post all of this information. I guess you don't care because you want people to contact you. So we'll post that in the
Absolutely.
when we're done, and I hope your turnout is amazing for your event. I think the weather's gonna be in your favor. We're starting to get past this craziness.
Yes, hopefully.
Yes, let's hopefully. All right, Sue is gonna read a quote that she picked for you. And Norma Bentley said, "Thank you, Sherri, for giving us your time and all that important information." Yes, we appreciate it. You've
Oh,
been a
my
great
pleasure.
guest. If you ever need to come back, just reach out. We'd love to have you again. And you sound busy, so if you need to leave after you hear the quote and we go through our ending spiel, we will not be offended.
Thank you so
Thank,
much. I
thank you, Sherri.
appreciate you having me on.
Yes, anytime. Let us know.
First of all, I'd
Suzanne?
like to thank you for your service when you were in the Army and for your service now for us seniors. So, um,
I'm in that group. Like I'm barely. I'm fighting it.
Good. Well, you're helping too, so that's a huge thing. Really hits home for a lot of people here. Thank
I
you.
was at an event at our church on Wednesday, and they were talking about, well, the veterans. One veteran was trying to help another veteran to get the right ID card and all that stuff, and they were having some issues with online and all that stuff, and one of the wives said to me, if there was just somebody that we could go to find out all this senior stuff. I said, well, watch the show on Friday.
That's awesome.
So
Yeah.
perfect.
That's awesome.
Perfect timing.
And if you have seniors that are trying to navigate the veteran world too, I am a veteran advocate. I'm the chaplain at our American Legion, and I have a lot of resources. So feel free to use that as a resource.
Okay, that's good to know. Thank you.
Yes,
Absolutely.
which
Man,
American
how do you fit all this into a 24-hour day, Sherri? I thought I was a go-getter.
I just love what I do.
It's apparent. Thank you.
which American Legion?
The one in Trenton.
Okay.
So on West Jefferson. Mhm.
All right,
Nice.
so I found this quote that I thought was quite appropriate for today, and hopefully I can get through it without crying.
I know.
To care for those who once cared for us is one of the highest honors.
That is by Tia
Amen.
Walker.
That's by
Amen.
a quote from Tia Walker. So yes. So thank you very much for being with us today, Sherri.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate you both.
Have a great day. Reach out if we can do anything else for you as well.
Okay.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you. Have a good day.
If you'd like to learn more about the good news of Jesus Christ, be sure to join Pastor Tim for devotions. He's live at 9:30 a.m. Monday through Thursday on Facebook. And join us Sundays at 10 a.m. for worship. It's live streamed on Facebook and YouTube, or you can come in person in our lovely stained glass adorned sanctuary in Allen Park, Michigan. And if you'd like to be a guest with Carrie and I on a Friday of your choice, so you can share your message and connect with the community, contact us for details at allenparkpress.org. That's allenparkpress.org, the events tab, and the good news tab. And next Friday, please join us when our guest will be the Reverend Kara Hildebrandt from Lincoln Park Presbyterian Church.
Yes.
And until then, remember, you are a beloved child of God, and God loves you, and so do we.
Have a great day, everyone. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for all the positive comments. Reminder, I will post everything for you. Have a great day and stay warm. Bye,
Oh, yeah.
everyone.
Bye, everyone.